my dear friends. Let's start this live session. For those of you who don't know what this is about, my name is Faisal Milenkovic. I own and run a marketing agency. Used to have to look up all kinds of trends in marketing, be it email marketing, social media, all kinds of different stuff. And so I go through news, research papers, white papers, trends, articles, all kind of stuff, pretty much almost daily. Like I have 1, 2, 3 hours almost every day, second day. And I thought it would be interesting to just record myself while I do it, be live, stream it so that all of you can go through the articles together with me, and you have the chance to ask me about the stuff, have me go in depth about the stuff. I share my experience, my opinions, and give explanations where all of you want. You can ask me about your business best. This channel and this stream is for SMBs, solopreneurs, and small and middle-sized businesses. And with that, I would be jumping right into it. I can see the chat, you don't see it, just so you know. And I'm going to test this if everything's all right. Usually, always the first minute is a bit of testing around, seeing if does everything work, is the connection well, and so on. Yep, this looks good, this looks good. This does not look good. What is going on here? This, well, might be my computer. Gotta look at it. Give me a few more seconds. As usual, you can put the questions you have in the chat or anywhere. Yep, works nice. Looks at least. If you see any issues, please put it into the comments and the channel and the chat and everything, because that helps me understand what's going on. I'm pretty new at this whole being live thing, in all honesty. And with that, I would say we jump right into it and let it work out. Seems to work well for me. And with that, let's get it on. Start again. Wrong. There it is. Big screen capture. As usual, there we go. I've got a few. Oh, let me. Gotta get my emails closed and everything so you don't see my client information or other stuff. But with that, we're gone. We are ready. Seems to work well. As usual, I know for those who watch this more often, you already know, I go through the headlines, just open the new tabs, like open here and then go through them. Sometimes articles have other links and so on, so it might be pretty recursive, but I don't know what the articles are about beforehand. I go through them live with you. Some are very interesting, some are very bad. I would call out those who are bad or who are just like very thin and SEO, typical AI bullshit, let's be honest. But with that, I'm going to jump right into it. Let me record it. So our first article has a really interesting name, in my opinion. Why your website should be under 14 kilobyte in size, which is kind of insane if you think about it. 14 kilobyte is nothing. So why and how and so on. Do you guys, can you see the text well? I hope it's good enough for you to read along. Let me, there. Screenshot. Having a smaller website makes it load faster. That's not surprising. Yeah. What is surprising is that a 14 kilobyte page can load much faster than a 15 kilobyte page, maybe 612 milliseconds faster. But the difference between a 15 kilobyte and a 60 kilobyte page is trivial. Okay, 612 milliseconds is interesting. It's more than half a second. Okay. Why is it important? In one of my recent videos, we went through the data. I thought it was 1 second longer makes 30% of all users jump off your page, something like that. This is because of the TCP slow start algorithm. This article will cover what it is, how it works, and why you should care. But first, we quickly go over some of the basics. What is TCP? Transmission Control Protocol, TCP, is a way of using the Internet Protocol, IP, to send packets of data reliably. Sometimes this is referred to as TCP IP. Okay? When a browser requests your website or an image or a style sheet, it makes that request using HTTP. HTTP is built on top of TCP, and a single HTTP request is usually made up of many TCP packets. Yeah. On its own, IP is just a system for sending packets of data from one location on the internet to another. IP doesn't have a way of checking if a packet has successfully arrived at its destination. When it comes to websites, knowing that all the data has arrived is important. Otherwise, we could end up with missing chunks of web page. There are other uses of the web where this doesn't matter so much, like streaming live video. TCP is an extension of IP that allows a browser and your website server to tell each other which packets have successfully arrived. The server sends some packets, then waits for a response from the browser saying it has received the packets. This is called an acknowledgement or ACK. Then it sends some more. Or if it hasn't received an ACK, it can send the packets again. Okay. What is TCP slow start? TCP slow start is an algorithm used by servers to find out how many packets it can send at a time. When the browser first makes a connection to your server, the server has no way of knowing the amount of bandwidth between them. Bandwidth is how much data can be transmitted over a network per unit of time. Usually it's measured in bits per second. Plumbing is a common analogy. Think of bandwidth as how much water can come out of a pipe per second. Your server doesn't know how much data the connection can handle, so it starts by sending you a small and safe amount of data, usually 10 TCP packets. If those packets successfully reach your site's visitor, their computer sends back an acknowledgement saying the packets have been received. Okay. Your server then sends more data back, but this time it doubles the amount of packets. Now we're sending 20 packets, for example. This process is repeated until packets are lost and your server doesn't receive an ACK, acknowledgement, at which point the server continues to send packets but at a slower rate. That's the gist of TCP slow start. In real life, the algorithm varies, but that's essentially how it works. So where does 14 kilobyte come from? Most web servers' TCP slow start algorithm starts by sending 10 TCP packets. The maximum size of a TCP packet is 1,500 bytes. The maximum is not set by the TCP specification, it comes from the Ethernet standard. We can jump into that too if you are curious about it. Each TCP packet uses 40 bytes in its header, 16 bytes for IP and an additional 24 bytes for TCP. That leaves 1,460 bytes per TCP packet. 10 times 1460 is 40,600 bytes, or roughly 40 kilobytes. So if you can fit your website or the critical parts of it into 14 kilobytes, you can save visitors a lot of time. The time it takes for one round trip between them and your website server. How bad can one round trip be? This is going to be interesting. A lot of people underestimate that. I'm curious about this example now. People are very impatient, and one round trip can be surprisingly long. How long depends on latency. Latency is the time it takes a packet of data to travel from its source to its destination. And if bandwidth is how much water can go through a pipe per second, latency is the time it takes a droplet of water to enter the pipe and then exit on the other end, which means how long does it take to get through the whole pipe. Here's a fun example of how bad latency can be. Satellite internet. Satellite internet is provided by satellite in orbit around the Earth. It's used by people in very unpopulated areas, on oil rigs, cruise ships, and for in-flight Wi-Fi on airlines. To illustrate this example of bad latency, let's imagine a bunch of oil rig bros have forgotten the dice at home and need to use the excellent under 40 kilobyte missingdice.com to play Dungeons and Dragons. Now we're gonna look at that page because I want to see what less than 40 kilobyte can be like. But first, let's read the example a bit more. First, one of them uses their phone to make a request for a web page. The phone sends a request to the rig's Wi-Fi router, which sends that data to the on-rig satellite dish. Let's be nice and say that takes 1 millisecond, like really fast. The satellite dish then has to send the data to the satellite in orbit above the Earth. Typically, this is achieved using a satellite in geostationary orbit at around 48,000 kilometers above the Earth's surface. The speed of light travels at light speed travel, so a message sent from Earth to the satellite takes 120 milliseconds. The satellite then sends a message back to the ground station, which takes another 120 milliseconds. Then the ground station has to send the request to wherever the server is on Earth. Light slows down to this. What is it? 20 million, 200 million meters per second when it's in a fiber optic cable. If the distance between the ground station and the server is the same as the distance between New York and London, it will take about 28 milliseconds. But if it's more like the distance between New York and Sydney, it will take 80 milliseconds. So we call it 60 milliseconds, a convenient number for our math. Then the request needs to be processed by the server, which could take maybe 10 milliseconds. Then the server sends it back again, back to the ground station, up into space, back down to the satellite dish, then to the Wi-Fi router, and back again to our Euler's phone. Again, here, phone, Wi-Fi router, satellite dish, satellite ground station, server, ground station, satellite dish, Wi-Fi router. If we do the math, that's 612 milliseconds. That's an extra 612 milliseconds every round trip. Perhaps it doesn't seem like a long time to wait, but your website could easily have many round trips just to fetch its first resource. Also, HTTPS requires 2 additional round trips before it can do the first one, which gets up to 1,836 milliseconds. We're already 2 seconds just latency. Wow, wow. What about latency for people who live on dry land? Satellite internet might seem like a deliberately bad example. I chose it because it illustrates a point and is weird, but for land lovers, latency can get worse than that for lots of reasons. 2G mobile typically has latency between 300 milliseconds and 1,000 milliseconds. 3G networks can have anywhere between 100 milliseconds and 500 milliseconds latency. And before anyone says, oh, 3G isn't used anymore, I just recently had this debate with someone and looked up all the data and everything, and 1 in 5 mobile users still has the equivalent of 3G. 1 in 5, so 20%. Noisy mobile networks. Stay in an unusually crowded place like a music festival. Servers dealing with high amounts of traffic. Bad stuff. Spotty connections can also cause packets to be lost, resulting in another round trip to get the lost packets. Now that you know about the 40 kilobyte rule, what can you do? Of course, you should make your website as small as possible. You love your visitors and you want them to be happy. Aiming for each page to fit in under 40 kilobyte is a good target. That 40 kilobyte includes compression, so it could actually be more like 50 kilobytes of uncompressed data, which is generous. Consider that the Apollo 11 guidance computers only had 70 KB of memory. Yeah, well, they had to do only basic math. It's like, I don't think that's a fair comparison, but alright. I mean, our users nowadays are way, way more demanding than the Apollo mission was regarding a lot of stuff like optics, dynamics, and so on. But let's continue. Once you use the autoplane videos, the pop-ups, the cookies, the cookie concept banners, the social network buttons, the tracking scripts, JavaScripts, and CSS frameworks, and all the other junk nobody likes, you're probably there. But assuming you've tried your very best to fit everything into 14 kilobytes, it can't. The 14 kilobyte rule is still useful. If you make sure the first 14 kilobyte of data you send to your visitors can be used to render something useful, for instance, some critical CSS, JS, and the first few paragraphs of text explaining how to use your app. Note, the 14 kilobyte rule includes HTTP headers, which are uncompressed, even with HTTP2 on the first response. It also includes images, so load only what's above the fold and keep them very small, or use placeholders so your visitors know they're waiting for something good. Okay, what's up? For those who don't know what the fold is, if you look at an image, let me give me a second. Give me just a tiny second. Let me check it out. Let me check it out. Can I get it? Give me a moment. I'm going to get us done. Okay. There. Let's open the screen. Yeah. All right. Here we go. There we go. Let's say there. This is your screen. Let's say, for example, let's make it smaller so it's easier. Okay. There. This is your desktop screen, for example. Okay. And this is your website. Now your website is much longer than your screen. Make it easier to. And now when you scroll down on the page, your screen goes down. Okay, but the page is all of it. And fold or hero section is called this very first area on the website. This area, the green one. Because when you look, because when you start, this is the area that is first loaded. You should have in this area everything you want to have loaded fast and to look good. That's the hero section usually. That's the fold. That's the stuff that is further down. For example, here, while you're up there, you don't need to see this. The user will be scrolling down anyway. Later on, maybe after half a second or even a second, depending on how interesting the beginning is. So usually you want to have this stuff lazy load. Lazy load means let me try it like this. Let's say this is the screen where we are. Here I want to see the green stuff immediately. Then I scroll down, and lazy load means stuff in the red area is only loaded now when my view goes into that area. Only now do I look at it, do I see it. Only now does the browser say, hey, let's load this data from the server. Okay, just as a little something. Too few of you use lazy loading. Important and a good thing for you to know how to do. Some caveats to the rule. The 14 kilobyte rule is more like the rule of thumb than the fundamental law of computing. Some servers have increased the TCP slow start initial window to 30 packets instead of 10. Sometimes the server knows it can start with a larger number of packets because it's used the TLS handshake to establish a larger window can be used. Servers can gauge how many packets a root can manage and send more next time it connects. This means you visit a page, the server remembers you, knows, okay, you are user X with the IP or the cookie or anything. It checks out, okay, you can get X packets, and next time you connect to the same server with the same settings, you have same IP, it remembers you, knows, oh, you are user X, we know you can get more packets. Just as a little explanation. There's other caveats too. Here's a more in-depth article about why the 14 kilobyte rule isn't always the case. HTTP2 and the 14 kilobyte rule. There is an idea that the 14 kilobyte rule no longer holds true when using HTTP2. I've read all I can about this without boring myself to death, but I haven't seen any evidence that servers using HTTP2 have stopped using TCP slow start beginning with 10 packets. HTTP3 and Quick. Similar to HTTP2, there is a notion that HTTP3 and Quick will do away with the 14 kilobyte rule. This is not true. Quick recommends the same 14 kilobyte rule. Further reading, much of the content of this post comes from the following resources. High Performance Browser Networking by Ilya Grigorik, Increased HTTP performance by fitting in the initial TCP slow start window by Simon Eskilsson. Critical resources, the first 14 kilobyte review, HTTP3 performance improvements. From 2022, Nathaniel. I like this article, really interesting. 14 kilobytes, good to know. And now let's see, where was the dice? This is the page. This is just 14 kilobyte. Okay, yeah, let's reload it. My internet today is catastrophic, but it can look nice, just nice. Number of 3, show options, number 4-sided, number 6-sided, number of whatever, number of dice, roll dice. 11, we have a little animation, we have a little stuff with color modes. There, tap. Indie mode, yeah. Like a coffee, easy, missing dice. Of course, it's not like an e-commerce site, but it's good to know. It's really interesting. Okay, I liked it. I liked that one. That was an interesting one. Yeah. It's huge articles. Present to you some news, some best practices, share my experience, my information with you, go a bit deeper into it. If you like what I do, consider supporting this channel and me by giving me a little like, by leaving a nice comment, or by subscribing or following this channel. It's 1 or 2 clicks for you, costs you absolutely nothing, but it means a lot to me and helps me tremendously. Also shows me that you want me to keep going. And with that, we jump right over to the next article. But first, I gotta save the article. To save the article. Right. And let me share it in the chat with all of you so that those who are interested can. And later on, check those articles yourself. It was a nice page. I liked it. I like this article. I these technical stuff. And some of you may say, okay, oh, what do I need it for? I'm not in the IT department, I'm not this, I'm just a designer, whatever. Well, it's still good for you to know the basics behind it, a bit of an understanding, especially for example, design, to know, is this little one blue dot image right here really worth it? Or could I, for example, do something in CSS to make it simpler, or a web dev? All of these kind of thoughts and considerations that when you have a better understanding of the basics behind it, it can make you work on all of it much better. That's my opinion. That's why I like learning about areas where I'm not mainly working in. So, the other stuff about the 14 kilobyte, I'll be going in a bit deeper next time, not today. Except if you want me right now, but I would like to go through some of the other articles. Like this one. Let's go through it. Alright. I made a mistake and forgot to close the last clip. Well, such is life sometimes. Such is life sometimes. Now, next clip, next article we go through. Short form social video, how brands win attention and drive connection in seconds. On the MScive page, I've found a few good articles recently on their page, so I'm going through the blog a bit more. Written by Elissa Windle. I hope I'm not butchering the name. Senior Director Media Strategy. So, can you read it well? Yeah, gonna make it bigger. Let's get rid of that absolutely gigantic menu up there. Nice. So we have more screens. Ways to read. Nice. That's what I want. That's what I want. Yeah. Let's go through it. People spend more than half of their time on social platforms watching videos, and brands are prioritizing short-form social videos within the strategy. Why? Short-form videos on social are engaging and entertaining, showing your brand personality, educating your audience, and creating personal connections with consumers. Bringing in high ROI, brands are doubling down, with video now accounting for over half of all US social networking revenues. Wow. Half. Video, brands can build strong, authentic connections, person by person, within social spaces that are still growing. Give me a second. Yeah, within social spaces. In a world of endless scrolling, shrinking attention spans, and instant gratification, short-form videos have emerged as the ultimate tool for brand storytelling. Whether it's a 50-second TikTok, a 30-second Instagram reel, or a quick YouTube short, these bite-sized pieces of content are revolutionizing the way brands connect with the audiences. And if your brand isn't already on board, here's why it's time to catch up. Here's what to know about short-form social videos, including creative best practices, how to plan your media, and which platforms consumers are flocking to next. Okay. Up to, let's see, just checking the health of the screen, everything working nice. All right. Grab attention within the first few seconds. To succeed in short-form video, brands must grab attention instantly. The rule of thumb cited by Meta is 3 seconds, but in reality it's even shorter. There needs to be something compelling enough in those first moments to get someone to stop scrolling and give you their attention. Whether it's a bold visual, intriguing question, or unexpected moment, the hook must spark curiosity or provoke an emotional response. Once you've managed to stop them, the next step is to keep them engaged for those crucial few seconds. Tailoring your approach to each platform is essential. Use bold visuals on TikTok, sleek and polished designs on Instagram Reels, and searchable intros on YouTube Shorts. Each platform has its own rhythm, and understanding what catches users' attention within the first fraction of a second can make all the difference in driving engagement. Key takeaway, brands need to capture attention within the first few three seconds of a video. A bit funky, that sentence. And also, I heard it's not really 3 seconds, it's like the first second. That's what's kicking it. You need the first second, you need the people to immediately be, okay, I want to see that. Like, immediately. Let's continue. Action items start with strong visuals and clear value propositions tailored to each platform to ensure viewers don't scroll past. This is something that I think we should go into in depth, in really depth analysis sooner or later. Use storytelling to connect, not just sell. Video is an ideal way to foster the connections that people are actively seeking out on social media, especially when short-form content prioritizes storytelling and engagement over sales. The mantra less sales, more stories, often echoed by creators for a reason. Well, I got to say something about it, but let's continue. This applies across all content, organic and paid. When you tie the value of your products or services to the needs and interests of your audience, you strengthen their loyalty and engagement, seamlessly integrating your short video ads into the content they're already consuming. But your video content needs to go beyond communicating your top selling points. Video and social media in general gives brands the opportunity to make the target consumer feel seen, understood, and truly resonated with. When you demonstrate a deep understanding of who your audience is, what motivates them, and how to communicate, that authenticity builds trust. And that trust, paired with the value your brand offers, sells the product naturally. Key takeaway, short-form videos should tell a compelling story that builds connections and community, not just sell a product. For B2B brands, this means moving beyond corporate speak to stories that reflect real challenges. Use relatable language and show genuine understanding of the audience. Storytelling should build trust and make your brand feel human. Action item, create videos that engage viewers emotionally by using storytelling and blending seamlessly with platform content. For B2B brands, this means showing real customer challenges, relatable workflows, and everyday wins, similar to how tools like Asana or Sprout Social bring the solutions to life. Make your audience feel understood, not just marketed to. Okay, well, here about something that I will say I've seen happen quite a few times. Don't get distracted by what is called vanity metrics. Okay? Don't get too distracted by like, oh, this hook gets us 5% more views. Oh, this is way working better, this and that. Sometimes the content is not, at least let me say it like this. For businesses, the idea is not to be influencers, okay? There is overlap, but it's not the same creating content to be viral, to be liked, to be seen and interesting, and content that drives business. These two things can be very different, but can also overlap. That's an important thing to know. Like, example of the influencer. Let me see if I can get that image up. That's this. Let's see. For example, yeah, there it is. This Famous example, Instagram's down with 2 million followers can sell 36 t-shirts. Why? Because the content was made to be interesting, entertaining, maybe a pretty girls get easy likes and followers, stuff like that. If you concentrate too much on being entertaining, you might get the wrong audience. On the other flip side, stuff that is absolutely boring and nobody cares still can make you a lot of money. I talked to a cybersecurity guy recently. I mean, you can give my examples too, but what it was like, a customer makes him 50,000 euros per year easily. And so the question is, if he's got a YouTube channel and he gets like 2,000 subscribers maximum, and his views are just 2, 3, 400, if he gets 2 or 3 people per year through this marketing channel, that's already 100 to 150,000 euros that he makes additional revenue. Great return of investment for that YouTube channel regarding the effort he has to put into it. If he tried to be Mr. Beast, creating content that is where 50,000 people laugh about it, it doesn't mean that he would automatically make more business if he stops delivering for his audience. Just saying. Okay? Because I see way too many social media people get way too distracted by that stuff. Now, use your audience insights to prioritize the channels where your best consumers are already spending time. Prioritize the most consumed platforms in your media planning and buying. Nationally, adults have been shifting with audiences spending significant time on platforms like TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts. Brands must create short-form content to reach a wide demographic. No, you don't must. You can. It will be beneficial. You don't have to. But it's better. Just, I don't like this FOMO, fear of missing out. Like, oh, you have to. No, you don't. Do it properly. Do a good campaign. Consider it. Also, don't just look at the audience of your clients, but also at the influencer of your clients. Sounds maybe weird, but for example, our travel. If you make travel for the family, teenage girls have a lot of influence on the parents about where to go, even if they themselves don't spend the money. But they go to the parents and say, hey, did you see this? Look at this picture, look at this video, look at wow, this looks awesome. Just as one example that I've witnessed. Leverage audience insights to gain a more holistic picture of where your audience is spending their time, where they're being influenced. That's exactly what I mean. Influence is important. Additionally, explore content format, tone, and messaging to understand what resonates most with your target segments. Short-form videos play a crucial role in the customer journey, building brand trust, demonstrating value, and driving direct action. Cross-promoting these videos across channels further amplifies their reach. Key takeaway, short-form video is essential for reaching audiences already engaging with platforms like TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts. Action item, cross-promote videos through other channels to maximize visibility and engagement. Optimize your content for vertical and mobile-first viewing. This is important and makes a big difference. Given that most short-form videos are watched on mobile devices, design them to suit the quick-scrolling habits of users. Videos optimized for mobile with large copy and bold visuals tend to perform better, especially when subtitles are included for sound off viewing. The subtitles are a must. You will see so many people, for example, on public transport and so on, like, it's a must. You have to. They don't always have the sound. Not all of them have the earbuds or anything in, okay? It's a must-have. I see way too many without it. Key takeaway, elements like vertical video format, subtitles, bold visuals, and large copy can maximize your impact. Action item, focus on ideas that resonate with your audience rather than high-budget production. And experiment with posting multiple times a week. Again, here, the point is not posting multiple times per week as if that was some kind of magical formula. It's more accept the iteration and the testing. You will need repetition to get better, and you will get much better, much faster if you post. And here's the key. And iterate 1 video a day or 3 videos a week. It doesn't make any sense if you say, okay, we do it the same way now for the next 100 days. And it's like, no, you should look at every second, every video, every third video and say, okay, now what aspect can we make better on this production? Maybe you can make the subtitles more interesting. Maybe you can make the editing more interesting. Maybe you can make the lighting, the audio, the storytelling, the hook, anything. Like, try to get it better, step by step by step by step. Design your videos even without sound. For people to watch short-form videos without audio, consider how you can make your videos impactful even with sound off. Incorporating clear, concise, closed captioning is essential, and editable captions can be useful in multi-language campaigns. Key takeaway, create videos that deliver impact without needing sound to engage your audience. Action item, focus on visuals and text-based storytelling to capture attention even with the sound off. Humanize your brand with employee interviews and social takeover. Short-form videos provide an opportunity for brands to connect with the audience through authentic, human-centered content. Featuring real voices from employees or brand partners can foster deeper connections and enhance credibility. This is especially important on platforms like TikTok and Instagram, where users are actively seeking out authentic opinions and voices. Okay? Key takeaway, I gotta say, I don't completely buy into it, because for a lot of content, it's just entertainment. It's just being entertained. We humans will like hearing stories. It's not, oh, I want to have them be authentic. They don't care if it's authentic, if it's real or not. They want something interesting, something that entertains or informs them or is just entertaining. If you deliver that, they would stick. Doesn't matter. Doesn't mean that all of them will become clients. That's something else. I'm saying it's authentic. I feel that word is thrown around too much without really reflecting what it means. Like, just my feeling. Key takeaway, short-form videos give brands a chance to show the human side, building deeper connections with the audience. Action item, feature real voices from inside the company, employees, partners, or clients to strengthen authenticity and credibility. You see? Yeah. Let the audience speak for you with user-generated content. User-generated content, UGC, helps viewers feel and build an authentic connection with brands. Integrating UGC into your strategy is a powerful way to connect with your audience. You can do this by replicating top-performing content from each platform, collaborating with trusted influencers, and repurposing content shared by your local customers. Key takeaway, UGC creates authenticity and fosters trust with your audience. Action item, encourage and incorporate UGC into your short-form strategy to build trust and deepen your connection with your community. How does that work? What is it? It means we take social proofing. People have trust with someone. They build a a relationship with some influencer star or whoever. So they've seen a person, they saw them again and again and again, they start to trust and like the person, and now we take their position and say, hey, you shine a light on us because people trust you, and if they trust you and you talk good about us, they will start to trust us, and that's how it works. Collaborate with creators who align with your brand goals. As the line between brand and creator content becomes increasingly blurred, it's in collaborations. A results-driven program that aligns with both the organic and paid efforts ensures that content. Creators produce videos that meet your business objectives. Key takeaway, influence and creator partnerships should be aligned with your business goals for maximum impact. Action item, use influencers and creators who understand your brand can produce content that complements both your paid and organic strategies. Create content that feels native to each platform. Strengthen connections. You strengthen to feel natural in the social environment. Create content that aligns with the platform's format, style, and audience behavior. For example, TikTok thrives on spontaneous videos with trending sounds and quick edits, while YouTube Shorts leans more towards content that feels like a more polished media educational video. Tailor your content to the specific platform and audience, ensuring it aligns with the takeaway. Make your videos feel native to strengthen your brand's connection with customers. Action item, ensure your video content fits seamlessly into the social experience while still showcasing your brand's unique value. Tell quick stories to keep views coming back. Short-form videos are ideal for delivering bite-sized narratives that build over time, fostering engagement through micro-storytelling. A recurring series can drive high engagement by maintaining consistency and making it easy for followers to return for more. Platforms reward this kind of storytelling, making serial formats especially effective. Key takeaway, short-form content works best when you deliver compelling bite-sized narratives over time. Action item, create a series of micro tips or stories that build on each other, encouraging return engagement from viewers. Jump on trends to increase your reach where they make sense for your brand. The viral potential of short-form videos lies in their quick, shareable nature, especially when they tap into trends and platform-specific challenges. Striking the right balance between creativity and brand consistency increases the likelihood of virality. Staying updated with trending sounds, formats, and challenges is key to creating content that resonates. Key takeaway, short-form videos are highly shareable and have great viral potential when aligned with trends. Action item. Use native features like on-screen text, trending audio, and interactive CTAs like Tag a Friend or Save for Later to boost engagement. Produce content quickly without sacrificing impact. Short-form content is a cost-effective way to create frequent content that feels authentic and real. Brands can engage with audiences with minimal production, focusing on quality ideas rather than polished execution. Use tools like templates, stock footages, or user-generated content to streamline the process while still delivering value. Regularly posting and testing of different styles, such as casual behind-the-scenes clips, quick tips, or raw, unfiltered content, helps maintain visibility. Key takeaway, short-form content can be produced quickly and cost-effectively without sacrificing authenticity. Action item, focus on ideas that resonate with your audience rather than high-budget production. Experiment with posting multiple times a week. Smarter short-form video strategy starts with better audience understanding. Again, about this multiple times a week. Why I have to say that is clients who only dare to jump into creating content if they had a whole, oh, here's my plan for the first 100 episodes. And it's like,